purpose of this presentation is to make you understand where chocolate comes from,
how it's made, and to convince you to help the people making the chocolate and what we could do.
So our resource is cocoa. People sell cocoa around the world for money. For the consumers, it is usually used as a dessert, topping, cream, or candy. The sellers need the money for goods they need and want.
Cocoa beans are extracted in Latin America and certain parts of Africa. They grow naturally in warm and wet rainforests, but some farmers use sun-grown cocoa. After that, the farmers crack the cocoa pods and powder the beans with banana leaves and leave it out for 5 to 8 days. After being sold, the chocolate companies roast the cocoa and grind them into a paste to make chocolate. Chocolate companies sell their products to supermarkets and stores. The sellers sell their products to consumers to be eaten.
This sounds like a system that's nice, but African children are working to make chocolate. 75% of African children are working instead of going to school. Also, the farmers don't receive good wage.
The cocoa farmers keep cutting down rainforests where cocoa naturally grows. Instead, farmers use hybrid cocoa and grow it in the sun, which is not as effective as the shade-grown cocoa. The rainforest is home to many plants and animals, so we are reducing the amount of habitat and producers.
Some small companies buy chocolate for a fair price. It is called fair trade. We can use fair trade as an alternative. Farmers would receive a larger wage, so then they can buy the needs and let their children go to school.
Nations and certain chocolate companies work together to buy cocoa for fair prices. It is usually small chocolate companies that buy with fair trade.
We can, instead of cutting down rainforests and using full sun plantation systems, we could grow the cocoa in rainforest and only clear small amounts of the forest to keep the soil from getting bad. So shade-grown cocoa is more economically and environmentally friendly than the full sun cocoa plantation system. In the last 500 years, the rainforest size was reduced to 7% of its original size. It would destroy trees, so then the food for ants would decrease, the amount of anteaters, since that they eat ants, then their predators would decrease, and that would affect the whole food chain.
If we were to cut down the rainforest, we would be destroying the homes of many animals and plants, scarring the food chain and ecosystem. So if the farmers use shade-grown cocoa, it would allow the rainforest to stop getting smaller and allow it to grow.
We can boycott the non-fair trade chocolate, so we can force the chocolate companies to sell fair trade chocolate so the farmers have a good price, so then the African children won't have to work, so they can be educated. While doing that, we can influence the farmers to use shade-grown cocoa.
Most African children spend 8 hours on chocolate farms instead of going to school. Also, 35% of the world's chocolate comes from Ivory Coast, so that means over 35% of all of their chocolate is not fair trade. Also, that means around 20% of the world's chocolate uses child labor.
It's important that we sustain how we are making chocolate and the way we're using it, because it's causing children to work 8 hours a day in Africa on farms instead of going to school.
Also, it's important that the farmers use shade-grown cocoa so we don't damage their